Right, good afternoon, everybody. It has just, in the eastern side of Africa, it's just gone 4 p.m., Central Africa 3 p.m. and West Africa 2 p.m. It's really exciting to be with you today. We've got a full session. We come to you live from Aquaculture Africa magazine, and it's a very exciting time on the African continent because we are only a few days away from the AFRAQ conference in Egypt. This session today has been scheduled as an extraordinary session in our program, and its intention is to build up towards what is going to be happening in Egypt in a few days' time. I have attended many conferences, and actually I must say that this build-up before a conference is almost as exciting as the conference itself. Many people are working really hard to make this conference a success. And I'm certainly honored that I'll be able to join many of these people in Egypt. And I hope to see many of you in Egypt. But there's also many of you online with us today that will not be able to attend. And this session makes it possible for you to also participate in a way in the excitement of the upcoming conference. Today's session has been made possible not only by the African chapter of the World Aquaculture Society, but also specifically AFRAQ. They are a big part of the machinery and support that makes this conference possible. And they've also made today's session as a build-up to the conference possible. So my sincere thanks to AFRAQ. As we get going in the program for today, I want to firstly just say that the African chapter of the World Aquaculture Society has really come a long way in the last few years since its establishment, its initial establishment in around, I think it was around 2017. And it now stands on the brink of bringing us another world-leading conference. And I'm sure Blessing today in his chat to you will tell you more about this conference together with Naveen. And I'll be introducing the rest of my panel members shortly. But in essence, as you can read on the screen, Egypt, here we come. If you are participating or if you are attending in the conference, that's really great. We'll see you there. And if you cannot attend the conference, we hope to give you a glimpse today of what's coming so that possibly you can attend future conferences of this nature. I do believe the next one is being planned already, and perhaps Blessing will tell us more about that when I give him the floor shortly. Many of you are familiar with webinars by now. Just one or two minor matters. Use the chat panel, please, to introduce yourself. I see many people are commenting on the chat panel already. Put your email address there if you wish, swap contacts, have a discussion with other fellow participants. Then if you have specific questions, please use the Q&A panel so that it's easier for us to find those questions and react to them. This webinar is recorded as well. You will receive a link to the recording and you're welcome to make it available to any of your contacts. You'll also get the email addresses of everybody on the panel today so that you can follow up with any questions afterwards. I would like to make a lot of time available after our panel members have spoken, so that we can get sufficient inputs and comments and discussions from everybody in attendance. I want to ask, and I will ask again, that you use this time. I will allow you to open up your microphone. Please interact with the people that are speaking today. And in that way, we can certainly give you as much information around the conference as possible. Just our program for today, we'll be running for just about 90 minutes or just less. We have a fairly full program, and I will start introducing the speakers. John Walakira is set to be our first speaker. I have in fact seen that John has had trouble linking in this afternoon. I will keep trying, John, and if we can't link him up in the next 2 or 3 minutes, then we'll take our next speaker and then allow John to give his word of welcome a little bit later. John, for many of you that know him already, will be aware that he's the incoming president of the WAS Africa chapter. So really appropriate that he'll be addressing us today. We've also got online with us today Hussein Mansour as the CEO of AFRAQ. Hussein is from Egypt, in Egypt, and he is not only going to tell us a little bit about AFRAQ in Africa, but also I'm sure he'll share the excitement of them building up towards this conference. And I will let him speak shortly just in terms of how AFRAQ is involved in Africa. Also, a lady that needs little introduction, Naveen Mahood Abo Sabana. Sabana, yes, I've got that right. I hope so, Naveen. I'm getting there. Naveen will tell us a little bit about the program in Egypt. Really looking forward to it. I'm sure she's working really hard before the people start arriving in Egypt. I will also be doing a very short inset around the Aquaculture Network for Africa, as well as the World Aquatic Veterinary Medical Association. I've got 2 or 3 slides just sharing with you what they are going to get up to at the conference. Then I've invited Bernice McLean to speak to us about the investment session. I know she's currently in a webinar, so she'll be joining us a little bit later. Then Blessing will be speaking around the All Africa session. And this webinar today was really made possible by a thought that we need to take inputs around the All Africa session. So Blessing will be telling us more, and that will lead us into a discussion where you will have an opportunity to contribute to the agenda of the All Africa session. So if you are not able to be at the conference, this is your opportunity today to contribute not only to the agenda, but also to contribute to the thinking around what needs to go into the discussion in Egypt. All right, I think that's about as much from me as you want to hear. I see John Walakira has still not been able to link in with us. So I will try, John, while Hussein Mansour is speaking. Hussein, if I can allow you to share your screen, you can go ahead and share. As I've indicated, Hussein is the CEO of AFRAQ in Egypt, and AFRAQ having made this extraordinary session available for us today. Hussein, I can see your screen. If you can go into presentation mode, there we go. I can see you. You can unmute your microphone and please proceed.
Thank you, Etienne, and it's a pleasure to be here with you and talking about the African chapter and all the activity for AFRAQ. I am Hussein Mansour, representing. I am the CEO of AFRAQ Egypt, which is part of AFRAQ Group. And in a couple of minutes, I will talk about our presence in the world and also in Africa. So AFRAQ, we have developed in many countries and in different continents. And as a status now, we have the 7 factories in different countries around the world. And we have the capacity more than 300,000 tons, existing in sales with more than 70 countries. And we have more than 500 employees. It goes from AFRAQ that we have an experience of more than 57 years in aquaculture and developing the aqua feed. And we are considered the 3rd largest producer in EU. Focusing on the African markets, we have 2 factories in Egypt and in Zambia. And by far, by these 2 factories, we are the largest producer of feed in Africa, with a total capacity more than 150,000 tons. But not this only, we also have 2 sales offices, one in Nigeria and one in Ghana. And we are existing in more than 30 countries in the African continent. This is, of course, served from African producers or EU producers. In Africa, we have the capacity more than 150,000 tons. Egypt is making the more than 100,000 tons. We have focusing also on primary species like tilapia, sea bass, sea bream, and shrimps. For information, Egypt is, of course, is the biggest producer of tilapia in Africa, and the third after China and Indonesia in the world. Zambia, we have a capacity of 50,000 tons total production, and our focusing primary species is tilapia. Of course, we can serve so many species, but we are focusing on this species only in these countries, as it is exist in Africa. To be in the feed business and to service the sector in a right way, we should develop our feed, and we are developing it and creating it in different dimensions. First, it starts in the lab in Bochum in Germany, and then we create the solution of the feed for the customer and apply it for a practical research either in Egypt or Zambia, because this is where the production facilities is, and then we distribute the whole solution or the feed in the whole countries by our technical team and technical support, and by sharing knowledge to them. What we want and why to choose AFRAQ for a feed supplier, because we are the first movers in the market. AFRAQ was the first company that talking about the temperature adapted feed, which is, of course, a different approach for feeding the fish. And this is create a huge difference for the result in the farms. Plus, we introduce a functional feed for the farmers. So we have the brood stock and starter feed, and also we have support and anti-stress feed. These approaches create a lot of opportunities, and we also won the prize for 2 years in a row on this two feed from the UAE market in Middle East. We want to be as a local presence, and we are focusing on our customer. So we make sure that our feed is available. This is why we choose different locations to produce the feed, and also our technical team is serving the whole countries and the whole areas where the production of aquaculture is in. Then we also offering a training program for our farmers. So this is where we lift up their experience and we share knowledge, because as far as they grow, we grow. And this is why we say, let's grow together. Besides, we have a good connection with our stakeholders. So our NGOs, central labs, universities, and also, as you can see, the African chapter as well. This is to drive the development of the aquaculture sector in all over Africa. And we have our sustainability and CSR, of course, goals, which we support different sustainable goals according to our strategic vision. What is our future plans in Africa? We will continue for developing our formulas, developing our solutions, and giving the good and the right decision for the farmer at the right time. We have an advices, we have a benchmark trials, we have a lot of tools that we can allow to the customer. Then he can, of course, use us and use our experience to develop his output and production. According to our business, the biggest portion of the cost is raw material. So our trend in increasing the aquaculture, we should develop and train and making a lot of solution and offer that to the customer at the end to the benefit of his business and increase the business. We will continue to increase our collaboration with the African chapter, and we will support the African chapter for the coming years as well. And this is, of course, will help and support the sector and the whole value chain for aquaculture. Besides this, we focus on the CO2 emission for our factories in Africa, and we will start to look into how it costs us to produce 1 ton of feed, cost us of the emission of CO2, because this is also a main concern for our development and our future plans. This is whole in brief what can AFRAQ provide and can support, and we have a lot of course ideas and experiences. So in the coming years there will be a lot to come out from our side. That's all, and I hope that I explain it in a good way. See you in Alexandria. Yeah, see you in Alexandria in our booth 25 and 26, because we are ready and excited to meet you all.
Great, thank you, Hussein. I'm sure many people will shake your hand when they see you in Alexandria. Many people looking forward to that. I can see the comments coming through on the chat panel. Please keep those going. It's always nice to see who's listening online. Asma all the way from Pakistan, Asaf from Malawi, Anthony from Nigeria, Kapo from Nigeria, Afra from Zimbabwe, Amon from Tanzania, Jacob, Norway, Danny, I see you are going to be at the conference. That's great. Jose from Mozambique, Moses, Botswana. I can carry on and on and on, but welcome to all of you that have joined us for this discussion today. I see there are many students also online. Please hang on. I've got an announcement about scientific writing in aquaculture at the end of our session today, which is quite important for you if you are in aquaculture research. Right, Hussein, thank you once again for that talk. Once we've had all the presentations, we'll take a discussion. So if you can remain with us and participate in the discussion as well. I have unfortunately not yet been able to raise John Walakira. We will take his word of welcome if he's able to join us. But for now, I want to hand the floor over back to Naveen. Naveen has been a sterling worker, not only towards the conference, but she's been very involved in the African chapter of WAS for some time now. And it's always a pleasure to work with Naveen, because whenever you ask something, you know that she will be ready to support and help wherever she can. Naveen is going to take us through the conference program and some of the highlights, and tell us a little bit more about what can be expected in Egypt in a few days' time. Naveen, you're welcome to share your screen and open your microphone. We look forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Etienne, for your kind words. Well, today I will highlight the program of the AFRAQ 2021. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, Naveen, you can go into presentation mode, but we can see your screen.
Okay, that's fine. Well, today I'm going to highlight the AFRAQ 2021 conference, which is the first conference organized by the African chapter. It was planned to happen 1 year ago, but due to the COVID-19 circumstances, we have postponed it to 2022. Aquaculture Africa is going to happen in the Bibliotheca of Alexandria, on the shore of Alexandria. It is hosted by the Center of Agricultural Research, the Ministry of Agriculture and Land Reclamation, and the World Fish Center. And it is naturally organized by the African chapter of the World Aquaculture Society. I wish to thank also AFRAQ Egypt, AFRAQ International, because of their sponsoring. They are our gold sponsor. They are going to sponsor our conference this year, and usually they sponsor our conferences of the World Aquaculture Society. I wish to thank them so much due to their efforts. Also, we have a silver sponsor, the Aqua Group, Wish, some premier sponsors like Blue Aqua, Cayman, Soy, and the session sponsors are the DSM. AFRAQ program themes is going to focus on or to cover the developmental issues of the latest aquaculture research in Africa. Not only in Africa, but also in the field of aquaculture everywhere, because a lot of people has actually represent a lot of abstracts. We are having more than 750 participants all over the world and Africa. The plenary sessions and the technical parallel sessions is going to include poster sessions and oral presentations. Well, AFRAQ will feature an international trade exhibition also, industry forums, student sessions and activities, satellite workshops, training sessions, various meeting forums on aquaculture development in Egypt and in Africa. The inaugural event will be the Sustainable Aquaculture Feeding Africa, and they will search how to develop aquaculture in the whole African continent. First day program is going to include some country reports. First of all, it will include the status of aquaculture in Egypt, desert aquaculture and land-based aquaculture, offshore mariculture and innovation in Israel, program of Africa, and tilapia seed production. Also, it will address the export barriers for South African and Namibian shellfish. Not only country reports, also we have special scientific sessions on nutrition, on aquaculture development in Egypt, in Tanzania, in Nigeria. Also, the seed production is having a great attention. So we're going to have a session including all the seed production of marine and freshwater fish. Tilapia health management also will be discussed. And there is side special sessions dedicated to different areas. The first special session is dedicated to the gray mullet aquaculture, and it's under the title Stock Enhancement and Production of Gray Mullets as Sustainable Choice. This is a Merck project coming from funded by the USAID, and it is concerned with the restocking of some lakes in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Israel, and Morocco also is joining us, but for the data analysis only. The second day also is going to include sustainable aquaculture, bivalve, seaweed, sea urchins, aquaculture. Aquatic animal health is getting more attention in this conference. We're going to have also genetics, omics session. The reproductive physiology is going to have also more attention. On the 27th of March, which is the third day also of the, it's not only the third, it's the third day after registration, we're going to have a plenary session under the title of Unlocking Aquaculture Prospects in Africa and in the Near East. Aquatic animal health will be continued. Some training and education sessions will be held in this day. Socioeconomics will be getting more attention in this day. Some of these will be concerned with the on-farm trials in central and eastern Kenya for low fish feed costs. Aquaculture value chain assessment in Nigeria, introducing also the governance indicators of aquaculture. Circularity in African aquaculture also will get more attention in this day. And the environmental water quality is going to have a special session also. And we are going to have a meeting, a board meeting, the WAS African chapter. Third day is going to have some special sessions and meetings for some associations like WAVMA and ANAF organizations. Also, the socioeconomics will be continued, environmental management will be continued, fresh and brackish aquaculture will get more attention, catfish feeding, ecology, and there is a special session also for the FAO, Egyptian Biosecurity Special Session. Thank you, and looking forward to see you in the conference next week, inshallah.
Right. Thank you, Naveen. I'm sure you are working very hard at the moment to make sure everything runs smoothly in the conference. So thank you for your effort and thank you for your presentation as well. Naveen, if you can also hang around, we'll take some questions and discussions after the presentations. And thank you for the information.
Thank you so much.
Marinella, I can see in the Q&A panel you were asking about seaweeds. Marinella, yes, there's a lot of work ongoing around seaweeds in Africa at the moment. If you send me an email, I'll share my email address at the end. Send me an email and I'll send you a copy of the recording that was done last year around seaweed aquaculture in Africa. You might find that very handy as well. Right. Sadly, I have still not been able to raise John Walakira, but we'll keep trying him for his word of welcome. I do want to carry on with just a short input around two of the special sessions that will be taking place at the conference. If you can just give me a moment to share my screen. All right, we're just trying to get the screen share going. If you can just give us 1 second. While we're waiting for that screen share to come up, I want to remind you to please put your comments in the chat panel. It's always really nice to see your comments there. If you've got specific questions, then please put them in the Q&A so that we can find them easily. I see Hussein from AFRAQ has already started answering some of those questions, and we'll certainly be taking live questions as soon as we are done. All right, I've managed to get the screen share going again. If we just have a look at our program, I'd like to share just a little bit of detail about the ANAF, or Aquaculture Network of Africa, and the World Aquatic Veterinary Medical Association. Both of these organizations, or both of these groups, will have dedicated sessions at the conference. Nelly Isiagi is actually the lady that's driving a lot of this work. She unfortunately cannot be with us this afternoon. So she's asked me just to say a little bit about ANAF. At the conference, it will be the 10th ANAF Technical Committee meeting happening on the 28th of March. The objectives of this meeting is to support the African all-inclusive positions on aquaculture development, and then also to articulate the key outcomes of AFRAQ as an input towards the ANAF General Assembly that will be held later this year. ANAF, as many of you know, play a core role in taking direction or giving direction to African aquaculture. So the expected outcomes will be a consolidated common position from AFRAQ, so that this can be taken to the general meeting later this year. They also want to draft an agenda for the upcoming 9th session of the General Assembly, and they'd like to produce a meeting report that highlights the status of progress in African aquaculture, so that this can be shared not only within Africa, but also widely with the rest of the world. So that is one of the special sessions that we'll see at the conference. I'm also going to say something shortly about the session for the World Aquatic Veterinary Medical Association, but I do see John Walakira has been able to link in with us. John, really nice to have you with us. Sorry, we kicked off the program without you. John, I want to hand straight over to you to give us your word of welcome. My apologies that we've come back to you now, but I know you've got some important messages for those attending today. John, welcome, and straight over to you. You're welcome to open your microphone. John, are you able to open your microphone?
What are innovations where we feel a need for learning more, or being able to improve it, upscale it,
Hello.
and so on?
Hi, John. Are you available to quickly give us your word of welcome?
Yes.
You are going to, so
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Sorry, I'm trying to connect here. Hi, Etienne, and hi, everybody. Good participation. I can see 91 participants. Thank you very much for organizing this. Probably I need to get some. Right. Okay, now I'm clear enough. You're most welcome to everybody. Maybe just a brief to remind you about the upcoming festival for the World Aquaculture Society AFRAQ 2021, which has been postponed for almost 3 years because of COVID. But we are happy to inform you that we've got good response, and many people are coming to this meeting. As unfortunately, a few will turn up, but we think there will be some provision in some sessions where we will have, I think, online sessions, and that one has been, so check what is going on. We will definitely, it's going to run through from 25th to around 29th. I know Blessing is here. He will give us more information about that conference. It's the second in nature. I can see Nevin also is also here, who's part of the organizing committee. But it's the second which we are having this year. And definitely there's going to be a lot of interaction between scientists, private sector, farmers, who are going to attend this meeting. So because of this cross-fertilization, we expect a lot to gain, especially the industry. Colleagues, we expect this interaction on Africa to build up the aquaculture industry, because to me and even others, we feel the future of aquaculture in the world is going to be in Africa. One, because we have the resources. Two, we have the species. I'm just talking of species which can be exploited. For example, tilapia. We see tilapia being obtained from Africa, and it's being exploited in other continents like Asia. But we have to harness our resources by investing in research, of course, by adopting the Malabo Declaration. If member states can invest in research, at least 1% to plow back into research so that we can come up with appropriate technologies for the farmers, where we can at least promote aquaculture. It's good enough now. African Union and even member states have recognized aquaculture. That's one thing which we need to really thank the member states, the governments. Aquaculture is now one of the sectors that is being promoted almost in every member state. So we shouldn't ignore this. And we need to thank African Union for spearheading this, interesting other member states to make sure that at least they spearhead aquaculture in the continent. Of course, we are the ones who are the elite who can attend this conference or who can participate in these ones. But we also need to think about the small scale farmers who are accounting for around over 60%, 70%. We should need to know that we are representing them. So that means let's think for them, but also bring their ideas, collect their ideas, which can be promoted in these platforms. We come up with technologies which can help them. Many of them are on subsistence level, but through your interventions, your ideologies and everything, we think we can promote these small scale farmers. They are the ones who will actually ensure that at least we reach those targets which we're always talking about. For example, in Uganda here, we are thinking of producing 1 million tons. We don't think only the lakes, but land-based systems can complement to that, at least to reach that target. So colleagues, I don't want to talk much. I know a lot of discussion is going to be included. We will talk more. Me personally, I'm very excited, and World Aquaculture Society is very excited to see that this conference happens, and very many other conferences. They will be rotational in each region. Will be hosted. But let's harness, exploit, and make sure that at least AFRAQ 2021 is successful. Its success will depend on us, we Africans. You will find the statistics very well coming up, but it's us, the Africans, who are supposed to roll this. And we thank the country, the host country, US and other countries who have spearheaded this. The dream to come up with the African West African chapter started way back 10 years ago. And I remember that was I think over 10 years ago, which was in Namibia meeting, but it's stalled. And therefore, we think if we do through this initiative, the chapter will run forward. We would like to thank the head office to make sure that at least this one has gone through. And specifically the current president, President Sherif, who has made sure that the African chapter is still running. through this pandemic for the past 3 years. It was not very easy. And we like to convey, I think he's around, maybe he's not around, but convey his greetings. And he's very happy, and he thanks all of us, or all the members, to make sure that East Africa chapter runs further than this. Lastly, let's make sure that to run this, the African chapter is run by the membership. So we have that obligation to pay our membership fee. Let's make sure that we pay this, because without that, we can't fulfill the obligations and expectations. I beg to stop here. We shall meet more, talk more later because of time. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John, for your words of welcome and your contribution today. I'm really happy that you've thanked Sharif as the outgoing chair of the African chapter. Sharif has done a fantastic job to carry the chapter. And it's under the years that he has served that I've realized that not only the African chapter, but aquaculture in Africa is a team effort. There's a lot of people working very hard to make sure that Africa takes its rightful place in global aquaculture. And John, you've got a big task to fulfill over the next few years while you sit at the steering wheel of this project aquaculture in Africa. So John, thank you very much. We look forward to working with you for the next few years, and we look forward to many people that become members of the African chapter to support you in your endeavors as the incoming president of the African chapter. Thank you, John. Moving on, I've given a very short one-slide background around the Aquaculture Network for Africa, which will have their dedicated session at AFRAQ. The other organization or the other group that will be having a dedicated session at AFRAQ is the World Aquatic Veterinary Medical Association. I'm not going to read through all of the text on this slide because then I'll put half of you to sleep. But to inform you that they are having their session on the 28th of March. The theme of the session is the status and prospects for aquatic veterinary medical education and aquatic animal health diagnostics in Africa and the Middle East, perspectives of aquatic veterinary practitioners. They will be covering through their objectives things like the promotion of aquatic veterinary medical practice, as well as veterinary standards and veterinary governance on the continent. And they see as their expected outcomes, of which there are several, to include things like the establishment of a network or collaborative linkages around aquatic veterinary matters, and also to formulate and finalize the MOU between the World Aquatic Veterinary Medical Association and the African chapter of WAS. I'm hoping that many more organizations that move in the field of African aquaculture will follow the footsteps of the Aquatic Veterinary Medical Association to associate them closely or themselves closely with the bigger continental efforts that are taking place. Right, on to a very important part of today's program. We've heard from John as the incoming president. We've heard from Hussein as the CEO of AFRAQ. We've had an update on the program from Naveen. And I now want to give Blessing Mapfumu a chance. Most of you in aquaculture across Africa know who Blessing is. He runs the secretariat of the African chapter. But I can also tell you that he has acted as the central pivotal point for the organization of the upcoming conference. And I know he works very hard day and night to make this conference possible. Blessing is also going to be telling us about the All Africa session that will be taking place at AFRAQ. And the intention is that once Blessing has told us more about this, that we get inputs and questions from everybody attending today so that we can take these questions and inputs into that All Africa discussion. Blessing, thank you very much. The floor is yours. You're welcome to open up your microphone.
Right. Thank you so much, Etienne, as always, for creating this platform and for connecting us to the aquaculture audience out there. And thank you, Mr. President, for being with us. Our incoming president, Dr. John Walakira, in the house. And thanks for Naveen, who managed to give us an overview of what to expect 25 to 28 March during the Aquaculture Africa conference. And always kudos to our founding board sponsor, as well as the AFRAQ 2021 board sponsor, that is AFRAQ. Let's grow together. So without wasting much time, I'm introduced, as many of you know me, Blessing Mafumo, from the executive office of the African chapter here in South Africa. So I'm also very much involved in the preparations for this aquaculture, our inaugural Aquaculture Africa Conference 2021. And we are very busy now with home stretch matters, but I must announce that the whole steering committee and organizing committee team has worked so hard to get to where we are today. And thanks to COVID-19, that it didn't come back again to interrupt us again for the third time in a row. So we are having the conference next week, and we are ready for it. Almost all elements of the conference are ready, as I can speak. I can say that over 750 have registered, both for the conference and the trade show. Over 55 exhibitors, international exhibitors are expected. So make sure you connect to some of the best exhibitors and trade show offers around the world at the event. We've got over 300 abstracts and how many sessions? I can't remember, the number of technical sessions. So there will be something for everybody at the event. So I encourage you to come, prepared and ready for the event. Without further ado, I think Dr. Naveen has given you an overview of what to expect, but we also have a special session just for you, which we call the African, let me just quickly share you my screen. Where did it go? There we go. Okay, I will share with you. Can you see it nice and clear there, Etienne?
Yes, thank you, Blessing, all clear.
Okay, perfect. So we have this so-called All Africa Aquaculture Side event. Just to give you a quick background of it. When we launched the WAS African chapter, that is in Cape Town in 2017, that is when we gave birth to this special All Africa session, where we try to converge those ones who are serious about African aquaculture or active, as well as the partners to the chapter, to just discuss how can we contribute to the development and growth and enhancement of the sector. And then in 2018 in Montpellier, those who were in aquaculture 2018 in Montpellier, France, we had again the second session, I would say, where we discussed more about developing the African chapter, as well as the expectations of what it can do to develop aquaculture in the continent. So it's happening again, the 27th of March. We have got a side room for that. 27th of March, Sunday. It's a 22-hour event from around 5 p.m. That is when everybody, during the day, everybody's scattered in all these technical sessions in all these rooms. So we are saying that, at 5 p.m., come to this small theater hall. We will announce exactly the venue within the biblioteca, and then we will have an All Africa, session where we discuss the chapter's business. So basically, the objectives are it's just a meeting place for members of the WAS African chapter. Remember, all those ones most of those who have registered to attend the conference who automatically have or qualify to have the African chapter membership, right? And then, so we are inviting you, the aquaculture actor or the community, to attend this event. We will also invite international delegates interested in African aquaculture to come in the room, basically to inform, educate, network, collaborate, and most importantly, to understand the WAS African chapter vision, activities, and its strategic plan. It will be also an opportunity to converge our partners together so that they can talk to us or share with us, what their visions are and what they expect to do in the short, medium to long term. Then we will have feedback from the audience, from you audience, regarding what the African chapter you want. And then obviously at the end of it, we have a social meet and greet platform, because you may not have the opportunity to do it during the course of the 2 days. So we are saying that, this could be an opportunity where you can meet Etienne, where you can meet AFRAQ in person, where you can meet me, or where you can meet Naveen or the president in the house. Then some of the highlights of that sessions, we will talk to you about some of the activities we have done during the year. We have worked so hard in 2020 and 2021. And then we will hear from our partners, AAM, AUDA NEPAD, that is the African Union Development Agency, which is our host. And then the Egyptian Aquaculture Society, which is our affiliate society, and the Aquaculture Association of Southern Africa. These are the big aquaculture associations we have in Africa. So we'll give them a slot to talk about, what we are doing together and what they are doing in their respective regions. And then obviously we will hear more from AFRAQ, our board sponsor, some technical presentations and some of their products and services that they offer. Then we will talk a little bit about what to expect in the medium to long term. That is the meetings and events that are lined up for you. We have the second Aquaculture Africa conference scheduled for Zambia in 2023. We are yet to announce the dates because the Zambian government is yet to sign the dates and the approval, which we hope will happen very soon because they are very excited about it. Then we have Aquaculture Africa 2024, that is Ghana. We are engaging with the Ghana aquaculture actors as well as the government for Aquaculture Africa 2024. And then we have a big one, hopefully coming in 2025 in Uganda. That is the World Aquaculture 2025. Together with AFRAQ, we can call it AFRAQ 25 as well at the same time. So that's the big thing coming up that we look forward to. But in the medium term, we have the second regional conference on aquaculture in West Africa. We had the first one, which was a success in May last year. I was there in Ghana. And now we are having the second one happening in Nigeria in October 2022. It's going to be a physical event, as I'm told, or possibly a hybrid event. Then we have a second regional conference on aquaculture in East Africa. This is going to be virtual. Again, Nelly will be taking the lead on that one. That is happening once again this year at some point. Data are yet to be announced. Then we have in July, in Southern Africa region, we have the ASA, the Aquaculture Association of Southern Africa region, as well as other regional event and highlights and announcements. This will be unpacked or discussed more during the All Africa session that we expect to have. Then, of course, we have a summary of WAS global events, which many of you desire to attend. Then lastly, we will have a panel discussion where we are going to introduce to you the incoming board members of the WAS African chapter. And then we are going to appreciate, you will, as audience, you will help us to appreciate the efforts and the job well done by the outgoing board members of 2019-2021. Then we will have that special panel discussion, which thankfully Etienne will lead us into, where we will give an open floor to hear from you with regards to the African chapter you want, with regards to how the African chapter can strategically and strongly contribute to the development of aquaculture in the continent. And also some recommendations on how we to hold AFRAQs well in future. And then we will have the president of the WAS, those ones who haven't met him or who wants to hear from him for the first time. We are hoping to have him to greet you and give you his remarks and a message of solidarity from the president of WAS, Dr. Antonio Garza, who is from Mexico. And then we will have a short meet and greet session at the end of the main session. So basically that's it. That's what to expect. So we will invite you to this session. Come in numbers and come prepared to hear from Ala Aqua, from the partners of the WAS African chapter, from our hosts, and also to hear from you on the African chapter you desire. Lastly, let me also say that we have got a booth, a WAS African chapter booth. So please visit us to get to see and hear more of what we can offer. We have got meeting rooms available in the biblioteca. So if you have any small meetings within your groups or within your country or within your project or within anything that you may want to do, we have meeting rooms available. Talk to us. We can arrange the meeting rooms for you. And then this is important that all visitor or entrants to the convention center have to be vaccinated. So make sure you bring your vaccination card with a QR code for entrance into the biblioteca. This is compulsory, otherwise you have some issues. Only the vaccinated are allowed in. Other than that, I wish you everybody a safe travel. Welcome to Alexandria and enjoy the beauties which Alexandria can offer. And I can tell you, I've been there twice and it's a beautiful city. And we expect many of you to enjoy, what it can offer. Thank you very much, Etienne.
Right, thank you, Blessing. As always, thank you for the comprehensive set of information that you've shared. Blessing, you need to hang around. There's several questions that we need to deal with. Blessing, I'd like to provide everybody that's online today with an opportunity to also comment on what they would like to see in the discussion about aquaculture in Africa. So we've got about 30 minutes left. I will come back to that where we invite people to contribute. I also want to try and deal with as many as the questions on the Q&A panel as I can. I have seen also that Bernice McLean has joined us. Bernice, thank you very much for linking in. And to wrap up just some of the highlights of the conference, I'm going to ask Bernice to just shortly speak on the African Aquaculture Investment Session that will also be happening in Alexandria. And Bernice, over to you. You're welcome to open up your microphone and just give us a sense of what will happen in that particular session at the conference.
Thanks so much, Etienne, and apologies for joining late. We have an epidemic of meetings at the moment, so I'm very glad to be able to join this. So thanks for the time. I'll be very brief. So the session that we are hosting alongside AFRAQ is really to look at financing and investment opportunities for unlocking Africa's aquaculture potential. And really, I think it speaks for itself. The rationale is that, we all know that Africa holds a huge potential for aquaculture growth on the continent, and different contexts of the, different regions and so on, but also to contribute to economic growth, empowerment, youth and women employment, and food security, just to name a few. And it's also one of the fastest growing food production sectors. But we really need to narrow in on how to leverage the increasing interest that not only the private sector, but development finance institutions and government have to invest in along the aquaculture value chain in Africa. So the aim or the goal of the aim of the session is really to serve as a platform. So we're hoping that we'll get a lot of participants to join the discussions, so that we can share not only information, but lessons and best practices on financing and investment for aquaculture development. So really we'd like to see stimulating discussions about not only just sort of general, comments on potential for investment and financing in aquaculture, but how we can take forward a coordinated approach to investing and financing aquaculture on the continent. We all know that it's, the contexts are very diverse across the continent, which necessarily lends opportunities for different kinds of financing, different kinds of investment. But we'd really like to see how to agree on some priority actions and specific roles and responsibilities for interested stakeholders to take forward the sector. So the session will be held on, I think it's on Sunday, on the 27th of March in the afternoon. Like many of the other sessions, it will be held in English, but we hope that those who have different language preferences will be able to follow, or to have some interpretation sitting next to them. We are going to hopefully have a keynote address that will start off with AFRAQ, and then have different interventions from different representatives, ranging from the African chapter itself to the African Union, governments, regional economic bodies, investment partners, research community, private sector, development programs, and so on. And then following the presentations, we're looking forward to a roundtable discussion session that will really hammer home, where we would like to take the recommendations forward. So I'll end it there. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to drop me an email. Happy to answer your questions. If there are any specific points that you would like covered in this session that will also be useful to guide the discussion somewhat, please feel free also to make some suggestions in that regard. So thanks very much, Etienne. Looking forward to seeing people.
Great, thank you, Bernice. I will share your email address at the end of the session today. Bernice, I know you're very busy with meetings. If you can hang around a few minutes, we'll take some questions, and perhaps there'll be a question or two on the investment session. Moving on, we've got 25 minutes or so left. There have been many questions in the Q&A panel. I see Naveen and Hussein and Blessing have been answering some of those questions, so thank you for that. There are several questions, however, possibly not directly related to the conference, but related to the presentation that Hussein made, and it's questions related to feed. And I saw 2 or 3 questions related to feed price. it's always a very, very topical issue when we come to discussing feed price. We probably don't have a long time this afternoon to debate feed price, but I do want to give Hussein an opportunity to respond to those questions and any other feed matters that have been raised. Hussein, you're welcome to open up your microphone and just give us a sense of what the AFRAQ position is on feed price.
Thank you, Etienne. Of course, prices are the biggest concern because this is the biggest cost in the whole production for the farmers, and this is a very important question. And I would like to elaborate that I could see in my experience that there is no cheap solution if you are looking for a very effective feed. And this is here our knowledge and our experience in AFRAQ is ready to serve the customer to find the right solution. We are not selling only a product, it's a solution for the whole entire cycle of the fish. And this is exactly what we do here. We are performing the researches and performing our R&D for developing feed with the best possible, cheapest raw material to reach a target of a specification of the feed. And in this formula, there is a lot of variables. What are the local ingredients? What are the imported ingredients? What are the relatively price for the fish? What are the price of the feed and the manufacturing? Maybe the feed price for the raw material is cheap, but the cost of energy is very high. Maybe the logistic is very high. So there is a lot of different variable in the formula, and our best message to high prices that we will serve the entire sector to reach the best possible and effective result from the solution that we offer. This is where the knowledge and where our experience is. R&D is vital for us and for the farmer. And we have it's like you drive your car. You cannot drive a car with water. It's always need diesel. So this is why the diesel prices contribute, and of course, when the prices is high, the feed the running of the cost of the car is high. The feed raw material, the raw material for the feed is very expensive, and the feed will of course be expensive. But the solution came when our R&D and our expertise, and also we share knowledge with consultants and professors, and we have the trials. This is of course contribute in making a best possible solution with effective to the farmer. There is also one question for the research. Who generate the research? Researches has always come from two sides, either from internal or external. Customer need allow us to put a research and discover what's best solution. Internally, we feel like there is a kind of shortage of supplying such raw material, or there is an opportunity for a new raw material. So we drive and generate our research according to these needs. This is of course to give a good result at the end. This is my message, and this is our contribution, and we are ready to serve any question and offering any solution for the customers.
Great, thank you for those inputs, Hussein. Very clear and concise about what feed pricing is all about. From Aquaculture Africa magazine, we will have several dedicated sessions later this year to discuss feed, and not only feed price, but various feed matters. So, and we believe AFRAQ will participate in those also. Before we move on, Naveen, I see you've had your hand up. Naveen, did you want to make a contribution?
I found some questions about joining the conference virtually. If Blessing have clue to that, would you mind, Blessing, to reply the people who are asking about virtual attendance, please? Because I have no clue, actually. Okay? So Blessing, would you please?
Thank you, Naveen. Blessing, are you able to respond to that?
Yes, this is going to be a physical event in most instances. And the all was events have turned physical now. This is because, you know, the was business model, it tries to bring everybody together, to converge everybody together, where you can meet and greet in a social and free manner. And we want to keep doing that as much as possible. So there hasn't been any investment for virtual platforms for this event, maybe for future events. But I must say that those ones who have got special side sessions, you can contact your session chairs or your session coordinators. Because remember, there are some sessions that are going to happen in separate rooms. So these sessions are the originator or the session holders could sponsor some virtual connections within the biblioteca itself, but not the main was proper conference.
Right, thank you for that clarity, Blessing. 15 minutes is what we've got left this afternoon. And I did promise the audience that we would take some live inputs as to what they would like to see in the African, specifically in the African discussion session, the All Africa session. Lloyd Shumani Knox, I think is the pronunciation. You've had your hand up, Lloyd. I'm trusting that this is related to the African discussion, but if not, I'm going to allow you to talk. Lloyd, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask your question. Lloyd, I've opened your microphone. Are you proceeding with the question? All right, I see several hands coming up, so I'm just going to move on to the next one. David Bayer. David, you wanted to add a comment or a question. Please go ahead, David. David, you can proceed. David, are you available to ask your question or make a contribution? All right, nothing there. Any other hands up for any live contributions to the discussion or to what you would like to see in the All Africa session? I don't see any other hands. All right, moving on to the other questions that we've received. Blessing, both yourself and Naveen, you've answered several of these, and perhaps just for the benefit of the rest of the people attending, Blessing, one of the questions was, is there a list of exhibitors? Is there a list of exhibitors that people can have a look at?
Yes, we have it, and it's unfortunate that it's not yet uploaded on the website, but if you need it, you can send me an email. We can send you the list of exhibitors. There are, how many? I think about just over 52 exhibitors, the majority of them from Egypt, but also, you know, quite a number from African countries, which is good. But of course, you know, we have international exhibitors coming from, you know, various countries around the world coming in to showcase their products and services within the biblioteca.
Great, great. Thank you very much for that, Blessing. I see there's a hand up from, I think it's Sejiro. Sejiro, you are able to ask your question or make a contribution. Your microphone is open. Sejiro, if you can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, good everyone.
Hi, Sejiro.
Okay, good day, sir. I just want to make a few clarification about farm visitation stuff. Is it going to happen during the conference?
Sejiro, I was battling to hear you. If you can perhaps repeat that, maybe you can speak a little bit louder.
Okay, what I'm saying is, are we going to have farm visitation, farm tour at the conference?
All right, Sejiro, thank you for that question. I can jump in and answer that myself. Unfortunately, the farm tours have been cancelled. Blessing, do you want to add anything to that? But as far as I know, the farm tours have been cancelled.
That is correct, Etienne.
Thank you, Blessing. So, Sejiro, yes, unfortunately, farm tours are cancelled. I do believe the WAS office has been facilitating refunds for those farm tours. All right, moving on. I see there's several questions in the Q&A panel asking about the seaweed report or seaweed work. Please send me an email afterwards. I will share my email address shortly and I'll make that available to you. I see that some people have asked for a report. It's not a report. It's a link to a recording of a seaweed webinar from last year. Then Jacob is asking about whether there will be an update around abstracts. Blessing, I have to come to you again. The list of abstracts that's currently on the website, is that the final one or will there be an update? Blessing?
Yes, there will be an update which we can circulate at the end of the conference. But this is, just gives you a flavor of what to expect. Because, some may not be able to attend for various reasons. But thankfully that, they would have sent in their abstracts and possibly their presentations as well, which we can then share with you if you are registered at the end of the event.
Thank you, Blessing. David, I see you've posted a comment saying you want to ask a question. David, if you can raise your hand again, then I can get to your microphone. David Baya, I'm opening up your microphone. You can unmute and go ahead and ask. David, your microphone is open. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. David, unfortunately, we can't hear you. We have opened up your microphone, but we're getting no sound from your side. All right, David, if you can get through, you're welcome to come back to us. Then there's also been a question around membership. Particularly, there's been a question I saw around how one goes about to become a member of the WAS African chapter. Blessing, do you want to comment on that?
Can you come again, Etienne, that question?
Blessing, there was a question around how to become a member of the African chapter of WAS. Can you perhaps just provide those details?
Oh, yes. You can register online so that we can capture your details. Everything else is available on our website. I can send you the link. If you can send me an email, I can send you the link and also the benefits of that you can accrue by being a member of the WAS and of the WAS African chapter, and some of the programs and activities that we do as the chapter. So I can send you an email with all that, but you can also visit our website, www.was.org, to register. On the membership icon, you can click there and then you can upload your details and then you pay the registration fee, which is a minimum of, if you are an individual, a minimum of $45 US. It has got its benefits. That is for 1 year membership. If you are a company, if you are an organization, you know, there are all these tiers, the membership tiers that you can click onto. Yes, so you will see it all on our website. Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you very much for that information, Blessing. We're starting to wind down. Last few minutes, we have tried to get to most of the questions. I'm going to do 1 or 2 announcements, and then I'm going to ask each one of my panel members to just say something very shortly in closing. If you could just give me an opportunity to make 1 or 2 announcements very briefly. The normal Aquaculture Africa magazine webinar program carries on this week. We've got a webinar this coming Thursday around, it's actually a discussion with Rodrigue Yossa, who has written a book called A Pocket Guide to Scientific Writing in Aquaculture Research. Those of you that know Rodrigue, you will know that he participated probably in one of our most popular webinars last year that dealt with aquaculture feed formulation. And this webinar this Thursday promises to be a highlight as he deals with how to go about scientific writing in aquaculture research. So please inform all researchers, all students. It's a really important session if you are involved in aquaculture science, and it promises to be really valuable. Then the email addresses of everybody that has spoken today, I've got them on your screen now. You're welcome to email any one of those persons for follow-up questions. Possibly we didn't get to one or two of your questions. We've been watching to see if we've got everything covered. But if your information, or if the information you need has not been addressed, please feel free to send an email. If it's about the conference, Blessing is possibly the best person to get hold of, but feel free to email any one of the other people as well. Right, we are closing off proceedings for today. It's been a very full 90 minutes. I trust that some of you that are online will be joining us in Egypt in a few days' time. If you are listening today and you will not be in Egypt, please keep interacting with all of us. Please try and be at one of the future conferences if you can. There's one coming up in Zambia next year, Ghana the year after that, I believe, and Uganda in the following year. But let's wrap up for this afternoon. Just a short word from everybody that's on the panel. Naveen, can we start with you? Just a word of closure, and then we'll just move through the panels as we wrap up. Thank you. Naveen, your final words this afternoon?
Yes, Etienne, I'm so sorry, my internet is not stable. So I hope to see the people coming to our conference next week. You are more than welcome to Alexandria. I wish you a pleasant stay in Alexandria, and you will enjoy our program. Waiting for you all, and especially you, Etienne, and John. Blessing also. Okay, bye for now.
Great. Thank you very much, Naveen, for your contribution this afternoon. Blessing, should we go to you for your final words?
Well, just to thank you, Etienne, again for this successful webinar platform. Thanks to our founding gold sponsor, AFRAQ. We hope to see your booth and your products and services in Egypt, and also to do some special meetings with you. Thanks to you, Etienne, always being always there ever since, I don't know, many years ago. And for all the growth of AAM, which is doing wonders to our aquaculture audience in Africa. And to the board members present with us, Dr. Nevin, Benis, and our president, John Walakira, thank you so much. To the audience, all I can say is we wish you a safe journey next week to Alexandria, Egypt. Make sure you book your flight on time and make sure you get your visas. If you are having any form of challenges, although it's too late, please contact us. If you have any challenges or if you are canceling, just let us know that that's the status. And make sure, I will repeat again, do not forget your vaccination card. Do not forget your vaccination card, because the law in Egypt for convention center is you only enter if you are vaccinated. That is for the safety and health and safety for all of us and all of them. Yeah, without saying much, travel well and hope to see you in Alexandria. Don't forget to visit our booth and also the AFRAQ, our founding board sponsors booth. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Blessing. Bernice, you have anything to add as we start closing down?
Thanks, Etienne. Thanks, everybody. Not too much more, just look forward to seeing as many people as possible in the investment session. And just to reiterate once more, if there are any particular points you would like to see addressed in the discussions, or if you'd like to bring forward some examples and so on, case studies, please do drop me a line. It'll be great to hear from you. Look forward to seeing everybody there. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Bernice. Hussein from AFRAQ, making this session today possible and playing a big part in the upcoming conference. Hussein, your final words this afternoon.
Thank you, Etienne, and I'm looking forward to meet all the guests and more in our booth in 25 and 26. And my short message is by this event, and also with what I see, we have different resources, different experiences. So it is a good formula to create a great future for aquaculture sector in Africa. And we will help each other to bypass the challenges and, of course, to grow together. So let's grow together.
Great. Thank you very much, Hussein, for your final words. John, as the incoming president, you've got big shoulders. Your final word as we close this afternoon.
Yeah, I would like to thank the organizers of this session, the WAS Africa Chapter Board, or the WAS board that is organizing the AFRAQ 2021. I would like to thank them for reaching this stage. It hasn't been easy, but they've really done some tremendous work. Of course, I cannot forget AFRAQ, who are the greatest partner. We always receive good news every time that we are renewing our contract with WAS Africa chapter. This is always good news. Let's keep up with this. But I also like to urge the members not to disappoint these partners. Whenever they put in, invest into us, let us plow back. We want to see figures, production figures in Africa growing with this one. And remember, this chapter has been developed or was formed or created to build up a network. We've never known each other, but through Africa World Aquaculture Society Africa chapter, we are going to know each other very well. We have very many experts with the different experiences that, as mentioned earlier. Let's harness this variety, cross-fertilization, which will make Africa produce enough fish, not only fish, but aquatic products. Let us also think about, all other aspects, climate change, food security, biosecurity, all others will be addressed in this conference. But it's all about us, Africa, how we're going to network with other regions, Asia, South America, Europe, America, to see whether we can improve and even at least prove to the world that we have the potential to grow aquaculture in different member states. Finally, I would like to thank all other participants who are willing to make sure that this conference is viable, is going through. Let us follow suit and make sure that this one is a success. We've already got the assurances from the organizers that everything will be a success. And I believe this is not the only conference that will be held. We shall have more and more conferences in different countries. I would like to thank our regular supporters. I have seen Karen Beverick, I have seen David Scaff, I have seen various scientists from all over the world who have continuously supporting us, especially advocating for the women in developing this industry. I would like to thank you all. Let's meet, talk, participate actively next week. And I would like finally to thank Etienne, who has made us meet up even through the COVID time. You would see AAM being active. We'd like to thank you very much, Etienne, for this platform. And I'm told it's not only here, but it's also beyond. There's also a Telegram or something. You usually use a Telegram. But we thank you very much, Etienne, for keeping us together. It's really tremendous. And without any pay, you can imagine all that sacrifice. But however, we also think as individuals, let us think of AAM. How do we support it? Because without AAM, I don't think we will meet again virtually. So we would like to thank you, Etienne, for this effort. And we hope we shall learn from you more in next week's conference. Maybe just one thing, I don't know if it has been mentioned. Someone, Flower, had asked a question. Do you only go with vaccine cards? I think that one needs to be clarified before you close, so that even everyone, we also have to go with a report, test with whether you have tested yourself before traveling. I think that one needs also to be clarified. Otherwise, I thank you all for even participating in this meeting. We meet till next week. Safe journeys. Asante sana, which means thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much, John, for those closing words. You do raise an important issue before we close. Maybe Blessing or Naveen can confirm.
Yes.
Is there a requirement for a COVID test as well?
No, for a PCR analysis for COVID, it is not required, but only the requirement is to get your vaccine card. You should have taken the 2 doses, neglecting the booster shot. Okay, so you should have been minimum having the 2 doses. This is very important, and you are not be allowed to enter unless you have the 2 doses to the bibliotheca. This is regulation coming from the Egyptian government. Okay, so this only the possibility to enter the bibliotheca. Otherwise, I think they need, if the airports need the PCR analysis, actually everything is written on the website, and all the regulations for travel to Egypt is present on the website. But what I am sure of is to have your QR code or the card of the vaccination. The certificate of the vaccination, I mean. So some countries are having QR code on their mobiles. So this is accepted, or the card of the certification of the vaccination. That's it.
All right, thank you very much for that, Naveen. I do know all of that information is on the website, so please check. If you do not come right, please send an email to the organizers, and I'm sure they'll help you. We are a little bit over time. Panel members, thank you very much for your contribution. AFRAQ, thank you for making today possible. And we will see many of you in Egypt. And for those of you that we will not see there, we hope to visit you online shortly. Good afternoon for you.
Hi.